In this video, I'm going to cover all of the top secret pro Warzone player settings that you're going to need to know in order to dominate Verdansk. We did get some new settings that they added with this update that are going to be crucial that you guys adjust. That are going to allow you guys to get better aim assist, better movement, and overall just be better at the game. Make sure you guys drop a like on this video. Subscribe if you guys are brand new around here. I have a lot more tips, tricks, and guides videos on the way. Starting with this button layout, I play tactical flipped. So this is going to be where you crouch with your right stick and prone with your right stick and melee with your circle button. I don't usually melee. For me, this makes slide canceling a little bit easier. Same with also diving, just with using my right stick. Horizontal stick sensitivity and vertical stick sensitivity. If you guys are just checking out Warzone again after a while, this is going to be a completely new system. I will have a chart on screen. If you remember what you played before when it was 0 to 20, you can kind of find where your sensitivity is going to be and then fine tune it from there. This is supposed to give us more granularity and control. I used to play 6.6 and now I play 1.7, 1.7. This is what I found works best for me. Hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of insight. Moving down, I do shoot with my bumpers, getting the controller vibration. I don't have any rumbles in my controller, and most people that I know that have custom controllers don't. However, I think if you have your controller vibration in your settings turned on, this is placebo, but I think it gives me more aim assist. I swear when I have it on and set to 50, I get more aim assist. It could just be all in my head, but for me, it works. Dead zones, left stick. This is going to be crucial in order to get more aim assist and to get your rotational aim assist faster. You need your left stick set to 1. Even if you have a little bit of stick drift, it's okay. You want it to be at 1. But the big thing is going to be setting your left stick max to 60. So as you guys can see here, if I'm moving my left stick, you see how fast it gets to the 60 mark, which is basically your full sprint. Your character is just going to get from 0 to full sprint super fast, since 60 is its max. This is going to allow you to get rotational aim assist to kick in faster and also just have more fluid movement. Right stick minimum, I like mine on 5. I could drop it down to like around 2 without having any stick drift, but for me, my right stick, man, I've always played on 5. Right stick max 99, left trigger, right trigger on 1. Moving over to aiming, this is where your sensitivity multipliers are. There is a lot in here. If you guys struggle with your kill streaks, this is going to be where the tablets are. Like if you're using the cluster and you're like all over the place with it, or like with the binoculars from the airstrike, this is where you adjust that. This is where you get an attack stance multiplier. Highly recommend playing with this at 0.9. Attack stance really isn't a thing anymore unless you're using old weapons. Moving down inside the aiming advanced settings, this is going to be crucial and critical to having the smoothest aim and most aim assist and just the best gameplay possible is going to be in this tab. You're going to want to change your ADS transition time from gradual to instant. You want it to be snappy as fast as possible. Call of Duty is all about who can do something faster than somebody else 90% of the time. Your third person ADS correction type, I just have it on assist. I don't play third person. I don't think anybody does. So that one you can just leave as default. For your aim response curve, pretty much every Warzone Pro plays on dynamic, and you're going to want this slope scale set to 1. For custom zoom per sensitivity, this all comes down to preference. For me, this is what I enjoy. If you guys are struggling with losing aim assist with like red dots or even iron sights, you can bump these down. Do not go under 0.75. You never want to have your ADS multiplier under 0.75. Always 0.75 and above. Moving on down, target aim assist again. ADS aim assist. If you're ever feeling like you're not getting aim assist, there is a chance that these got turned off somehow, some way. It's not going to be the first time it's happened to me before. Moving down the motion sensor advanced settings. These are technically not supposed to do anything, but again, it's one of those things. I swear FOV sensitivity scaling is on by default. You're going to want to turn it off. Me, a lot of other Warzone pros, we all swear by it, having it off. I personally feel like I can tell a difference. A lot of people say it's all in your head. For me, I have to have it off. I check that all the time. Into the movement. This is going to be a little bit different. Again, if you guys are just coming back from Verdansk, we now have Omni movement, which means you can sprint in any direction. If you want to have the most fluid movement, the most cracked movement, and overall just have a smooth experience, you're going to want to change your sprint assist type from on to tactical sprint assist. Basically, when you move your left stick up and you hit that 60 mark, your guy will automatically go into tactical sprint. That's what this is basically just auto tac sprint. You want your sprint assist delay set to 0 because we don't want any delays at all. And you want to be able to have your sprint assist for sideways and backwards turned on. This will allow you to be able to slide, cancel, dive, all that kind of stuff in all the directions. Mantle assist, you're going to want that off. Crouch assist off. Corner slice. This is when your character is like, when you're moving in, when your character goes sideways, right or left, like around a corner. If you like that, leave it on. If you don't, turn it off. There really is no right or wrong with that. It really comes down to preference. On the enemy screen, whether you have corner slice on or off, it doesn't change the way your character looks in game. So truly comes down to preference. Slide dive behavior, you have to play on hybrid. Highly recommend it. You want to be able to slide and you want to be able to have the ability to dive. And believe it or not, hybrid actually has the least delay when it comes to sliding and slide canceling. I know it doesn't make sense. You'd say, John, you know, tap the slide actually. Listen, hybrid's actually the fastest when it comes to delays. Coming down to automatic airborne mantle, for me, I like it on partial. This setting is bugged. It locks all the time. So with that being said, if you want to change it, you want to click square to reset tab. Make sure, again, before you do that, make sure you take a picture of all of these so you know what they are. But you want to reset the tab, go to a new tab, come back to that tab. When you do that, automatic airborne mantle will be unlocked and you can change it and then it will lock again. It's one of those things. I like mine on partial. That's what I put it on. For the best possible movement, slide canceling, you want to just be smooth, fluid through the map. Sprint restore, slide maintain sprint. Both of those are checked on. Parachute automatic behavior, you want that off. You want to be able to pull your chute as close to the ground as humanly possible. Mantles cancels reload. For me, I like that on. So that way, if I am mid reload, I'm not like jumping into a wall and not mantling over it. Like it will cancel the reload. Therefore, I can mantle, if that makes sense. Movement advanced settings. All of this is pretty standard. Vehicle settings, you can just take a look at these if you need them. Moving over to combat, I use apply all. This is one of those things, kind of preference. For my dedicated melee weapon activation, I have it on hold melee. So again, if you guys are new to Verdansk, you guys haven't played in a while, we have dedicated melees on every class. You get unlimited attack sprint with it and you move wicked freaking fast. And to get it out, you press and hold the melee button, whatever your melee button is. For me, it's circle because I'm playing tactical flip. If you're on default, you're gonna press and hold down on your right stick and your guy will take out the knife and then you have unlimited attack sprint to move around the map. Moving on down, again, apply. The other secret pro setting or thing that people don't know about when it comes to the melees is going to be a way to take your melee out instantly. Currently, if you want to use your controller, you press and hold the melee button, and then after a little bit, your melee will come out. There is a delay to this. There's actually a way to do this without using your controller. As you guys can see, I just did it right there. And it is instant. It happens instantly. And that's by using the keybind. So I actually use a foot pedal in conjunction with my controller in order to take out my melee. And the way that you're going to be able to set that up is by going into your keybinds here, going all the way down to the combat advanced settings, and then your switch to melee weapon, set it to whatever your foot pedal is. So for me, my foot pedal is bound to J. And then by doing this, your game is going to pick up the input as a keyboard input and thus taking out the melee instantaneously without having to press and hold the melee button. This will help you out in a lot of clutch situations. If you guys are on PC, the foot pedal that I use personally and that I recommend is going to be the Elgato foot pedal. If you guys are on console, this is possible to do. If you guys are on console, you're going to need an iCagal foot pedal. I'll have both of these linked in the description down below. This 100% works on console as well, because when I played console only ranked, I was using my foot pedal to take out my melee because it is just one of those habits that I have. Every millisecond counts, and being able to take it out at an instant without even using your hands, absolutely clutch. Getting into combat advanced settings, weapon mount exit, you want this on instant. Mine was on short delay, but you definitely want this on instant. Again, one of those things that we want everything as fast as possible, so you're going to have it on instant. Again, with interact and reload behavior, you want to prioritize interact. This is how you're going to be able to pick up loot super fast. This is the same as tap to interact. However, you also can tap to reload if there's nothing in the range for you to pick up. So it just makes everything that much faster all around. You can see all of the rest of these. Moving on down, scoreboard I have on toggle, and then overlay, advanced settings, ping wheel delay. This is one of those little secret settings. Have it on moderate. Again, you usually want everything as fast as possible. If you turn this to short or off, 9 times out of 10, it will actually break your kill streaks. If your kill streaks are not working, set the ping wheel delay to moderate, restart your game. It should fix it. One of those little weird things. Going in order, moving down to graphics, you want to make sure that you're playing on full screen exclusive. Make sure your refresh rate, your display resolution, everything is right. NVIDIA Reflex low latency, I play with it on plus boost. This is a CPU heavy game, so having it on pulse boost will make a difference in your controller delay. VSync turned off, custom frame rate, you can set it to whatever you want, or you can leave it on unlimited. Moving on down all the way down here, high dynamic range, make sure this is turned off. Also, if you are on PC, I will have a config file that you could just download from a well-trusted, well-known PC optimizer. It's the guy who does all of my PC optimizations. You could download those 3 files, load them into your game, and then from there, all of these settings will automatically be applied. It takes like 2 seconds. It'll be linked in the description down below if you guys are looking for that. Moving on down though, again, render resolution on 100, dynamic resolution turned off. Your upscaling and sharpening, I like mine at 50. I feel like I get the best aim assist with that. VRAM on 70, variable rate shading on. Texture resolution with the config file, it's going to be on very low. I like mine on normal. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't impact the frame rate that much because my PC is really beefy, but it makes my game just not look like a potato. So for me, I like that. You guys can kind of take a screenshot of this, or I'm just going to go through all of this really fast because pretty much it's all low or off because we're going for maximum frames. One setting that you need to 100% in your graphics double check constantly is going to be your on-demand texture streaming. For pretty much every other game other than COD, there's high definition texture packs that you can download, which basically you download all of the nice graphics and it applies it and it just stores locally on your machine. COD is such a bloated game that they actually have you download these things in real time as needed. So what you want to do, this will help with your hit rig, this will help with your desync. In your on-demand texture streaming, you want to have this on minimal. This is going to basically make it so that way it's not downloading that much. You want to have your download limits set to on. You want your daily download limit set to 1 gig. And then you want to have your allocated texture cache size at the most that your machine will let you. Moving down to your FOV, if you guys haven't played Warzone in a while, basically the standard, you want to be on 120 FOV, you want to be on affected, you want your weapon field of view on wide. This is going to give you the least recoil possible playing on the 120 and affected. The wide weapon field of view just makes it smaller on your screen so you can actually see more. A new feature that's been recently added is a vehicle field of view. You want this on wide as well. This will, when you're in the vehicle, will zoom you out even more, allowing you to 3P around and see significantly more. If world motion blur, weapon motion blur, all of this needs to be off. Your first person and third person camera movement you want at the lowest possible value, so that way it's not kind of shaking your screen all around. Inverted flashbang, I like mine turned off. Going down to the audio master game volume, I turn the gameplay music volume to 0. When you're in tense end game situations, the last thing you need is the music going on in your ear. Same with the cinematic. This is, you know, more for like cutscenes and stuff. But during the gameplay, you want it on 0. Dialogue volume, I like mine on 16. This, again, is the announcer. When I'm in a tough, tight situation, I don't need to hear everything the announcer's saying super clearly. I just want to be able to hear things. So 16 allows me to hear, oh, if an enemy's dropping, I'll get that audio cue from the announcer. But it also allows me to hear everything around me. Effects volume, this is your physical game volume. Leave this at 100. I do play with the art tune, so these are all there. Enhanced audio mode, headphone mode, I don't like it. I don't use it. I don't think I need it. Audio mix, I am playing on Treyarch. This might change based on what Artist Wars recommendation is today, but for now I'm on Treyarch. Mute licensed music, I have that on. This will also pretty much mute the war tracks in the vehicles. Again, I'm able to hear more if I don't have all of these extra sounds that I don't need going on. The frequency intensity, if you're on console, you can try messing around with these. This could possibly help you get more footstep audio. Reduce whatever that T word is, want that on. And then your hit marker presets, completely up to you. I'm going to use default. Voice chat, this is pretty much all standard. Moving down to interface, skip introduction movie, that's pretty standard. Telemetry, I just like having my FPS counter, my server latency, and packet loss. I believe if you're on console, you can only have latency, packet loss, and the clock. So, I mean, you could have all 3 of them on. I don't recommend having a bunch of these on. If you're having trouble, obviously, with your machine, go ahead and put them on as well. I like mine on default. You want to make sure that you have your network in-game alert icons on, because this will let you know if you're getting packet burst, server instability. You can see all the network in-game alert icons on the right, but you want these to pop up because these will give you information about what's happening in real time. Moving on over, I like all of my text sizes on larger. It's just personal preference. Heading over to color customization. If your game, it doesn't have that pop, the saturation, kind of the greener, brighter blue sky effect, if it's not doing it for you, come into here, set your color filter to filter 2, set it to both, not only the world and the interface, but set to both. So, and then set the intensity up to 100. If it's too bright, too saturated, bump the world color sensitivity down. This is what you see in game. For me, I play with it on, and I play with it on 100. Inside of your gameplay HUD, you want your HUD bounds as small as possible. This is so all of your vital information, your mini map, your ammo count, all of that is going to be as close to the middle of the screen as possible. Therefore, you don't have to look up, right, low, left, right, whatever. You don't have to look as far to get the information that you need. So I play with mine as close in as possible. Your mini map shape, you're going to want that on square. You want to be able to get as much information as possible. Your mini map rotation, you're going to want that on. Your compass type, make sure this is set to horizontal. The compass is something that's underrated, not only for giving comms, but also when somebody fires an unsuppressed weapon, even if you can't hear it, if they're close enough to you, it will pop up with a small red dot on the compass at the top of the screen. Something a lot of casual players don't use, but something that you should definitely be taking advantage of. For map assist, this is one of those new settings that just got added that not a lot of people know about, and that's going to be, you have a couple of different options. For me, I personally like to play on automatic center because this is going to automatically center it around my icon on the map. So when I open it, it will automatically have the little cursor over top of my player, so then I can just automatically start zooming in myself to the level that I want. If you guys want it, you can test out auto zoom in center. That would probably be my next best recommendation. But then you have these other ones to play around with if you're feeling it. Stamina bar, this is going to be where your tack sprint is visible on your screen. If you do display near crosshair, basically this big bar pops up in the middle of your screen, and when it goes all the way down to 0, it means you don't have any more tactical sprint anymore. Vehicle HUD, it's always good to have on. Sometimes, honestly, I play this game all the time and I forget what I'm doing in the vehicle, so it's nice to have the HUD there. In-game text I have on. This is another new setting that is kind of just added, a new feature. It's going to be the weapon inspect attachment info. Let's say you're fighting an enemy or you picked up a ground loot weapon and you're like, wow, this thing is frying. I just dropped 20 kills with it. What attachments are on it? In the past, we'd have to look at that little picture on the bottom right and just take a guess. Now, if you do a weapon inspect, it will pop up with all of the attachments on the weapon currently, so that way you know how to build it out in the future. Moving on to another new setting they added, it's the custom ping duration. There's nothing worse than playing with gamers that have bad ping manners, and the ping duration currently I am testing out is 5. I may up this to 7 seconds. Basically, if your teammate pings something, it will be on your screen for 5 seconds, at which point it will disappear without needing to say, hey, can you unping that? It's super crucial, super helpful. For crosshairs, I do recommend playing this with on. I like the larger center dot. Crosshairs you want on, the crosshair spread you want on, opacity at 100. For crosshair color, it comes down to personal preference. I pretty much switch between bright pink and bright green. For me, it's what is easiest for me to see and I have the most success with. Hit markers and damage, you want both of these on, and then moving down, you want all of these at 100. Inside your account and network, there's going to be a couple things that you guys can go ahead and take a look at. First things first is going all the way down here and making sure your dismemberment and gore effects are turned off. This will increase your FPS on PC and on console, and it will improve your hit rate. Don't ask me why. That's above my pay grade. I just know everybody. I just know that you're supposed to have this off, and it does make a major difference. The only other setting in here that you're going to want to take a look at maybe is in your network info. You have to be careful when you put this on your screen. If you are a streamer, this will show your IP address, so do not do that. But if you think that you're lagging, have bad connection, anything like that, you can go in your network info and it'll actually tell you what your NAT type is. You want to try to achieve an open NAT type. This will help you with your hit rate, your desync, everything. You want to have an open NAT type. It's crucial. The easiest way to open that is going to be opening ports on your router. All right, guys, that should wrap up everything for the settings. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications set to all, so that you guys don't miss any future videos. If you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I'm happy to help you guys out. If you guys do see somebody asking a question that you know the answer to, feel free to help them out in the comment section down below. Hopefully this video helped, and I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield.